Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make very simple pixel art, 8-bit art or 16-bit art for anything like games or just simple creation and stuff like that. So if you've played things like Minecraft before, you've probably actually made pixel art before in that, where you would probably make Pikachu or something like that in using Minecraft blocks, and then obviously once you bring it out, it will look like pixel art. So that is basically what I'm going to show you how to do in very simple tools. So I've gotten two tools that I will show you today. One is obviously Microsoft Paint, which is what we're in here. And the other one is this website here called pixilart.com/draw. I will leave the link in the description for this website, but it is basically the exact same thing as what I'm going to show you in Microsoft Paint anyway. So once you load up Microsoft Paint, it will obviously look like this. And I'm going to show you how to basically set it up for making pixel art. So you obviously, once you start drawing, it is very free flowing and kind of just follows perfectly across your mouse. And obviously this is not pixel art, so let's just get rid of that. And again, the same goes for the pencil. It is very free flowing, so again, it's not pixel art. So what you want to actually do is first come into view and then put on your grid lines, so it'll look kind of like this. And I would also recommend putting on your rulers. So as you can see here, my rulers are basically set up as pixels. So this top corner here is literally the 0th or whatever, however, it's like 0, 1000. And obviously down here is more like 200 to about 100 or 100 to 200 and stuff like that. So yeah. But then that is not all. Then you need to come into home and then resize, and I would bring mine down to about 100. As you see, then I only deleted the 100, well, one of the zeros out of the 1000 from the horizontal, and it also deleted one out of vertical, and that is because down here it has maintain aspect ratio. I would recommend keeping this clicked, mainly because it will keep the exact same shape of your canvas. As you can see, this one's a square, so then obviously if I click OK, it makes it a smaller square. So then obviously you're wondering how am I going to make pixel art in this tiny square? Well, what you're going to do is come down to the bottom right hand corner and zoom in to 800%. That is the maximum amount of zoom you can do, and obviously then it brings the canvas a lot closer and zooms it in a lot more. So yeah, that is basically more or less the setup of what you have to do. And then obviously, as you can see by the ruler is now going up to 100 pixels. So it makes it really easy for counting out and measuring your pixel art basically. So as you can see, this is basically the top corner. This is the bottom corner. And as you can see, when I'm clicking, it puts in one whole pixel of the pencil. So that is basically how you set it up. As well as that, you can see the canvas size in the bottom here by 100 by 100 pixels. And also once your mouse is on the canvas, you can see in the bottom left hand corner exactly the coordinates of where your mouse is at and exactly what pixel it's in. So right now it's in 36 by 45, which is that exact dot there, and this one over here is 77 by 15. So that is basically it. And obviously after that you can just start drawing. So you can just go 3 pixels, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just kind of like start drawing something out like this, and then obviously once you've done something similar to this, you can just get some colour in, and let's just get a yellow colour and fill in the rest. Obviously you can use the paint bucket too, and that will just fill in the whole space. And obviously make sure you go back to using the pencil, and right there we've just made a little simple duck head. Quite simple, literally took me about 30 seconds. So imagine what you can make in an hour, 2 hours or something like that. And then obviously you can just use the rubber. The rubber looks huge here. You can bring it down to about, I think it's, what is that, by 5 by 5. So obviously if you want to just delete one pixel, you're going to have to be very careful and just do that. And make sure you only use the corners and stuff like that. But I'm just going to get rid of all that. So that is basically how you start up and set it up in Microsoft Paint. And obviously if you don't want to go through all that setup, you can then come to pixel art. You will get adverts obviously like that, and maybe it might pop up again, so you just have to click the X. But basically this is the exact same thing. It is once again set up to 100, 100, and you can come up to file here and press new, and it will allow you to change. So obviously if you need bigger or a smaller space, you can just come to here and change it. So I'm going to bring mine down to about 50 by, I don't know, maybe a 50 by 50. So it's the exact same, it's just a little bit smaller. And obviously it will ask you if you want to erase the last thing, and it will bring it closer. So obviously, as you can see now, it is a lot closer. And again, it is the exact same thing. I would actually recommend using this website. Obviously use this website if you don't have Microsoft Paint, but I would just recommend using this website because it mainly sets it up straight away for you. And it's really easy to export and stuff, and it's got a couple more tools. Obviously, as you can see, a circle, it will make an 8-bit circle, as you can see there, and the square, obviously a square is more or less 8-bit or 16-bit already. It still has the bucket tool, so you can just do something simple like that. It also has a color picker, so say you accidentally click off a color and you can't remember what color it was. If you just use the color picker, bang, it'll go back to the same color. It has a move tool, which Microsoft Paint doesn't actually have. So if you make a mistake or you move, or you've basically drawn something over here and the body is down here, you can just move the head over like that and then put it straight on the body, which makes it really easy. There are also layers as well on this. So over here, as you can see, are the layers, and the layer tools are just down here, so you can move a layer up. So let's create a layer. Obviously, as you can see, this one's layer 1. The standard one it'll be is background. That'll be the first layer. But then obviously, once you highlight a layer, you can move that layer up or back down. You can change the properties, so basically you can just change the name of it. You can delete the layer, you can duplicate the layer. So obviously, as you can see there, I just made another circle, which is absolutely identical to the last layer. And obviously I just pressed that once more again by accident. So let's just delete those two. And then obviously you can merge the layers. So once you have made a layer, I'm not sure why that circle is actually on that layer. It shouldn't be. There you go, as you can see, it disappeared. But obviously if you want to merge some layers together, say I draw another circle on layer 1 and just keep it blank. Once you merge these layers together and we come to the move tool, as you can see, these move separately now, and you can, I'm pretty sure you can still use your standard shortcut keys like Control Z, Control Shift Z and all that for undo and redo. So obviously now, as you can see, I'm only moving that one circle, merge it together, merge it down, sorry, and as you can see now I'm moving both circles because they're on the same layer. There are a lot of other tools too, like darken and lighten. I'm not too sure what these actually do. So it's just kind of like all about playing around and stuff like that. There's a stamp tools, so there is obviously some automatic, well, some already pre-done kind of art, as you can see here. Some stuff from like, I think it's Adventure Time maybe, I'm not too sure what the names are. Just some standard cookies and stuff like that. There's also a gradient tool, which is really cool. As you can see there, it just kind of gradients everything like that. And I believe there is a select tool somewhere, or there is a crop tool actually. There's a spray paint tool, so really cool. And lots of just other tools that are basically a lot better. So I'm just going to quickly delete, well, I'm going to make a new layer and then delete that layer 1. So we can't just have, okay, we can't do that. So let's just come into File, New, and then just create the exact same canvas like so. And let's just get into making some simple pixel art on here. So as you can see in the top tabs here, we have some 8-bit drawings and stuff like that, and 16-bit drawings too. Obviously, I would recommend just coming in and like kind of just copying exactly what these are. So I'm going to copy this Mario. So what I'm actually going to do is bring this off here, just drag it to the side, and then bring up this other one and bring on the pixel art. So we want to get a red colour for the hat. So obviously, as you can see, the hat is about 1, 2, 3 pixels for the little front of the cap here. So 1, 2, 3, and then you can kind of calculate using other things. So obviously, as you can see, this is 1 pixel, 2 pixel, 3 pixel, which means this one hair bit here is 2 pixels, 3 pixels, sorry, and then obviously just kind of work it out from the rest. So that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to go 7 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is literally just this one bit of cap here done. And then you could just fill in the rest of the cap, remembering that the front of this cap is 3 pixels wide. So that is literally the cap already done. Then we want to get a brown colour. Obviously, as you can see, I'm not using the exact same colours as what you can be using on the picture. That is just because I'm doing this kind of quick, and literally just like that, whilst I was talking, the hair is done. There are loads and loads of colours, as you can see. The colour palette goes straight through it all, and I'm just going to get this kind of peachy colour here, and then fill in some of the head and stuff like that, like so. And then we can get a black colour, do the eyes, and then we can do from there the moustache, I believe, like so. And then you obviously then using the moustache, we can come back to the colour picker if you can't be bothered finding the colour down here. Press the colour picker. Also you can press V as you saw, and boom, just like that we have that colour back. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And literally, as you can see, this Mario is already coming together, and that is literally how simple it is. Boom, the head is done. I can do obviously the rest of the body and stuff, but I don't want to bore you guys. So literally all that is literally all you need to do. Just practice away, do some drawings, obviously find loads more. So then you can come on to doing Pokemon. You can get this Pokemon ball here. Let's bring that back down to the side. Grab that Pokemon, and then obviously find where the reds are on here, so we can get this kind of red here, kind of orangey red. Or you can just start off with a black and do the outline. That is what I prefer to do. Always do the outline. That is my little tip. So let's just do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And obviously, if you want to have symmetry in your pixel art, make sure that you do exactly the same as you did on one side. Basically, do the exact same thing on the other side. So obviously, you've seen that I made a mistake, but we can just quickly get the eraser here and erase that little dot. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can bring this down and then across, and then boom, we already have the circle made. Obviously, you can then obviously use just a circle here, and you can get a perfect circle. Let me just quickly get rid of that. You can get a perfect circle by holding shift, as you can see, but sometimes obviously, as you can see, it won't make exactly the Pokemon shaped ball. So I'd always recommend just kind of freehanding it. So boom, there we already have that done. So then we can start going ahead and then creating the rest of the ball, like so. So that is literally already basically all the black bit done of the ball. Now all we need to do is get a white and fill in the rest of the picture. Using white can be a little bit difficult. As you can see, some of it is basically, it's like the background is grey and white. So I would recommend filling it in with a different colour like this grey, and then obviously colouring over in the black. Or you can just kind of fill it in with a white and freehand it. So let's just quickly get this. And obviously you can use the bucket tool too, fill it in really easily. I need to actually get that white back and fill in this little bit here. Again, obviously use the colour picker to do it properly. And then obviously we still need this white to then finish off this little sparkle here, which I've actually done it in the wrong place. So let's just quickly get rid of that. And boom, there we go. So literally just like that, we're already making pixel art. And obviously you can make it more detailed. As you can see, this one here is a little bit more detailed with kind of like some colour and shading in it. So what you can do for that is basically remember what colour you had, and then come to like a darker colour down the little palette like this, and then just kind of like make sure you remember, or make sure you have a kind of like a set kind of light point. So obviously, as you can see by the shine, the light point is coming down this way. Let me just get a black for doing that. The light is coming down this way, so you want to always make sure your shadows are kind of away from that. So let me just quickly get that colour back and finish off like so, and do it like this too. And basically just doing this basically means that it kind of gives the object a little bit of a 3D effect, as you can see. So it makes it look a bit more spherical, which is obviously a lot better if you're trying to do a lot of good pixel art and stuff like that. So obviously, boom, let me just quickly get rid of that advert again. The only downside to this website is obviously the constant adverts, but boom, just like that, we have literally made a detailed Pokemon ball. Let me just quickly get rid of all of this line here, like so, and boom, we have a pixel art Pokemon ball. Really simple to do. And obviously once you start practicing, you can start obviously doing something like this 16-bit orc kind of thing here. And again, I would recommend just using this and kind of like practicing with it. So obviously doing the exact same thing, just dragging it over here and then drawing it out. Obviously it's going to be a little bit harder to see. You're going to have to go really close to count the pixels, because 16-bit art is obviously like double or basically twice over an 8-bit art. So yeah, that's kind of just it. Really simple. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.